Hey guys, this is Decelation. We got Brian.
What's up, folks?
How you doing? So today we're back on the Factory 5 hot rod truck, and we got Masha.
Hi.
She's just looking at the flowers in the front. But yes, so today we're gonna do some more wiring. And Brian kind of started a little bit. You'll see on a different video. I'm finishing work on the BMW. So yeah, so Brian started a little wiring. And so now this is actually the faithful stuff. Like, we're actually connecting wires to like loads and stuff like that. Like, we connected all of the like the connectors and stuff, but now we're gonna actually connect like soldering wires and getting them all ready to go for the first start. You excited, Brian?
I am excited. Not about doing the wiring. I'm just excited about the first start.
Yeah, I know, right? Me too. All right, so if you like videos like this, you like to see this type of content, hit that subscribe button down below, hit that notification bell, hit the like button, and comment what your thoughts are. And I like to see what you guys say and stuff like that. And like I said last video, Brian, he's in the comment section just as much as I am. So like he watches all of YouTube. Like, he's seen all of it, like all of YouTube.
Pretty much all of it. It helps having a job where you can just sit around and watch YouTube all night.
Yeah, pretty much.
Nice. There's worse things.
There are definitely worse things. So yeah, we're gonna get back to work and we're gonna continue this wiring, and we'll do these videos, this video in particular. It's a lot of thought work and a lot of just planning it out, so it doesn't film well. So once we figure out the next section, we'll give you guys an update clip. All right, stay tuned. All right, welcome back, guys. So Brian, want to show the people what you got figured out?
What we figured out? Well, we figured out we needed a new starter. So we went and got a new starter, slapped that on there, and now the starter is wired in with the correct wiring, as is the alternator.
So the alternator, let's see if we can. So Brian got a little clean and neat with it. So the alternator wire goes right here, and then you can see it follow under the intake manifold. So very nice and neat. And then Brian, I haven't even seen this part yet, so let's see. What's my... Yep. There goes our starter wiring. And Brian took the liberty of making sure that there is nice heat wrapping over everything. So it's nice and insulated, because you see it runs right next to the headers. So there's heat insulation on that to really protect the wiring. Yes. And then I also worked under the car, since we had just the wires hanging down. So I got this wiring kind of pulled out of the way, run down the center of the car so you can see it. And then I got creative. There's a bolt right here on the transmission, threaded hole that wasn't being used, so I modified the P-clamp to where it can attach here, and it pulls this out of the way, so it doesn't interfere with me operating the shifter as well, and then it connects to the main harness. So yeah, that's what we've got done so far. Now I'm gonna work on trying to get one of the fuel pump wires connected. Actually, I'll probably work on both of the fuel pump circuits while Brian figures out how we're gonna starts figuring out how we're gonna fit all these bundles of wires under the dash, and where we're gonna mount the second fuse panel. So yeah, so stay tuned. All right, welcome back, guys. So Brian and I have been cranking through. Brian, want to talk about what you got knocked out?
Yeah, we got some, just tidying up some connections up here. So we got the steering wheel connections done underneath of there. I got the brake switch mounted, so now hopefully his lights will turn on when he puts his foot on the brake pedal.
Yeah, look at that.
And then we started sorting some wire bundles out over here. So tomorrow I can mount the computer for the Phytech and start bundling up those cables and trying to get everything kind of tidied in enough that we can call this workable and drivable.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're almost there now.
Yeah, it's getting close. All right, and while Brian was working on that, I was back here dealing with the fuel system. So let me I already knocked over a bundle of wires, connectors. That was not fun, which I don't even see where those wire connectors are. Yeah, they're over here. That entire thing, knocked it over. That was a lot of fun picking all that up. So the Factory 5, the rear harness this is the fuel level sender. So this sends back to the fuel level, to the gauge. And this is for a fuel pump on for the car. So what we're gonna do is the Phytech has a fuel system on, and the body harness has a fuel system on. So the initial pump for the surge tank, so the inline pump, is going to run off the body harness. So that's going to initially, when you take it on, it's going to start putting fuel into the swirl pot. And then I need some thicker gauge red wire. That's why this isn't done. This is the positive. I already got the negative ran on, so I'm just going to run the positive, and then I'm going to put sheathing and clamp it up nice when I get the red wire. And then here goes the swirl pump. The Phytech is going to be actually controlled. Oof. Okay, so the Phytech is going to control the swirl pot pump. So this is going to be, this is an orange wire. This comes from the Phytech system, and they just expect you to use a ground locally to where the fuel pump is. So this is where this wire comes in, and this is just the ground connection for that. And I got it kind of zip tied off to the brake line that's back here, so it doesn't move anywhere. But yeah, and that's going under the car. We're gonna coil it up. Once we get everything kind of in a final situation, I'm gonna cut that to better length so we don't have just coils of wire laying around, because part of just doing this management is cutting out unnecessary wire instead of having to zip tie it around, coil it around, you know what I mean? And the harness, I don't know how deep we're going to go into cutting out wires in the main bundles, but I know we're going to cut out some wires in the like the straggler wires and stuff like that, and still just keep the main bundle, because we are using all of the Phytech harness, and I would say 95% of the body harness. There's like just a couple wires here and there that aren't being used. So yeah, stay tuned, and this will be up for today, and we'll catch you guys tomorrow and continue this video then. Welcome back, guys. This is day 2. Got Brian here. So what we're working on, I finished up this a little bit off camera. So I finally got I got extra red wire, thicker gauge red wire right here. So finished wiring this fuel pump. So those two fuel pumps are finally done wired. Brian, I got some fittings in the mail, and Brian was, I think we talked about this hose being kinked, and Brian cut the cancer out of that one. Do you have that old hose?
It's sitting over there on the...
Yeah, so when a hose gets kinked, like when you get these braided steel holes like that and they kink up, man, the metal kinked up, there's no way that was going back to normal form. So we cut that part out, added some AN fittings. It will be okay. Additional leak points, sure, but it's very easily accessible, so not worried about it. Are you worried about it, Brian?
I'm not worried about it.
Then I'm not worried about it. But yeah, so what are you going to finish on? What are you going to be working on next?
Rerouting all these hoses and making sure all the fittings are tight.
My man. And then I'm going to continue looking in the manual and seeing what wires I can start attaching where. So yeah, this is going to be fun. So we'll keep on going and stay tuned for the next update. Welcome back, guys. So kind of an update what Brian and I did. Brian, you want to tell them what
do we do today? Well, we got the patch put in on his crimped up oil cooler line cable, and I rerouted those around so they were neater and not running underneath the suspension, so that's always a good thing. So now they're all neat and tidied and run alongside the body, and once we get the fittings we need for the transmission cooler, we'll connect those, and then all that plumbing will be done.
Yep.
Let's see, keep going around the front here. We got the fan hooked up, and it's temporary prepare for first running location there. So we got a trigger wire and the actual fan cables, and we're gonna see how well that works. We'll tidy all the cables up as we get there. And yeah, and then this is the project for next week. So the whole goal of this is we want to get all this, everything we need to cable to be able to run the car for the first time under its own power and fix all the leaks we're going to have when we turn it on, because invariably it'll leak. So that's the goal.
It won't leak. I swear it won't leak. I promise.
We'll get everything else tucked back up there and have some way he can see how fast he's going in the neighborhood. I'm going to have to pull the spark plugs out of 6 of the cylinders.
Hey now, don't you do that to my engine.
So yeah, that'll be the goal for the most of the next week, is to just finalize all the first run go-karting wiring.
Yeah.
And then hopefully there'll be a video of us or Gary driving down the road screaming like a little girl.
I'll be crying like a little girl, not screaming, crying. Tears of joy, of course, but man. Yeah, so yeah, that's pretty much what we've been working on. I've been doing little cleanup of wires and stuff, connecting stuff, and just for the people that look at some of these crimps that aren't the greatest, well, that's the harnesses. See, this is how I do my stuff. So it is connector, smaller shrink wrap inside of larger shrink wrap to cover the connector as well, so it doesn't leak. That's how I do my connectors. So will I redo all of the connections in here? Maybe, maybe not. We'll see how I'm feeling. Oh, I also finished the ground for my LED turn signal. It's linked into these wires. So, but yeah, that's about sums it up. I mean, we got a lot done this week, even though it looks like nothing changed on the car. Yeah.
It's the little things that count.
That's what he tells his wife.
I'm Irish. It's just one of those things.
But no, I thank you guys. I really do appreciate you guys sticking by and watching these videos. If you like the video, hit that comment down below, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, and the notification bell. Have a good one. Peace.